62 times World Championship raced in Spain. This Sunday's Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix will make that 63. We're back in Europe, and after a luxurious weekend in Monaco, the circus returns to yet more familiar ground here at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Welcome to round 7, and this is your track. Just over 4.6 kilometers in length, 2.8 miles, with an elevation of almost 30 meters. There you can see your active aero zones and the overtake detection point just before the final corner. 14 of them around this track, and after one practice session it certainly is George Russell mastering it right now, but a long way to go. These are your tyres for the weekend. Pirelli going one step softer than last year with the C2 hard, C3 medium and C4 soft. Beautiful conditions continue here. The sun beating down on us as temperatures just shy of 30 degrees. And a warm welcome to those joining us from Sky Sports' main event. It's Harry Benjamin up with you in the commentary box. Alongside me is Karun Chandok. And Karun, well, it was a busy free practice one session. Lots happening in the break. We had 7 FP1 drivers in for the first session. Usual service resumes now.
Yeah, indeed so. We didn't have Lewis Hamilton on track. We didn't have the reigning world champion.
Usual service resumes now.
Yeah, indeed so. We didn't have Lewis Hamilton on track. We didn't have the reigning world champion Lando Norris on track, or the current world championship leader Kimi Antonelli. All of them are going to be back in their regular cars as we get going for FP2. And the track temperature, Harry, is still up at 50 degrees.
It was, I mean, that's the track temperature. The air temperature just below 30. It was a bit of a hot walk over to the commentary box.
You are in a jacket.
I know I'm in a jacket.
Is it a shirt?
It's a shacket. I'm fond of a shacket. It's because, you know, I'm on the telly this weekend, so, you know, got to jazz it up a bit, haven't I?
Very good. You know, this is a session where we'll see more representative running in terms of the regular race drivers, but also in the first session, we saw a whole load of new aerodynamic parts and sensors being run for people to evaluate.
Improve their prospects. We'll talk more about that. Before we actually get some track action, Karun, I just want to see off, because there's been a lot of chat, obviously, about the appeal from Monaco, and here is Pierre Gasly, Alpine, winning that appeal and getting their podium back. However, just in the last few moments, we're hearing that both Red Bull and McLaren have issued a notice of intention to appeal the Gasly outcome. It's been reported and verified by our very own Craig Slater. 96 hours to decide whether they press ahead with the actual. It's been reported and verified by our very own Craig Slater. 96 hours to decide whether they press ahead with the actual appeal. Your thoughts on that?
I understand why they're doing it, because, you know, they look at it as, especially in McLaren's case, Oscar served a penalty, and you know, although it didn't have any material effect in terms of his point scoring, he did get penalized for something that now they've admitted was a fault to do with the hardware on the ground, or the placement of the hardware on the ground. 77 centimeters is what the official judgment says was the error. 77 centimeters feels like quite a lot. You place the shower 77 centimeters off. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's fine.
Other teams who have been impacted by are questioning it.
Well, Red Bull obviously Isaac Hadjar, so that's what that you don't want to see. You know, throughout the whole of sport, you can't keep questioning.
And Isaac Hadjar will lose a podium bonus, which is a financially Alpine can argue some served the penalty during the Grand Prix. Find an equal solution for all.
Well, we've heard Toto Wolff speaking of really that confident of any kind of tangible outcome. No points whatsoever in Lewis Hamilton, and but for finding the wall and to test out this weekend, hoping for more.
Try and find some flags and get in real balance issues, Harry, around. Annoyingly, all the flags that I used to look at are flagless. I can't actually tell you what's happening with the wind. Do the golf trick, don't you? Pick up some grass and just
throw it in.
Well, it was a great shot. That big funnels the wind around the pit lane. Never get a clear indicator of what the wind is doing if you're standing.
One who can tell us a little bit more is Ted Kravitz. Good afternoon.
Having asked me, as being in the pit lane, a sense of what the wind direction is at turn 9.
And I'm setting you up to walk up the hill to turn 9.
Away to your right at the end of the main straight, It's just coming in slightly their left-hand side. Okay, so but more or less a headwind on the main.
Come around over the crest of the brow, so
Difficult.
yes.
And elsewhere in the pit lane, I did notice the team's very keen. In between, I'm interested the game between gamesmanship, trickery between the two. Free on Saturday, or do they not really want to do that? Either Russell or Antonelli try to keep something from their
to happen at this stage of the game. I think George Russell was even coming to lose now. That all plays all his fault.
No, I a little bit in their pocket and don't show their teammates under Montoya all the time. You know, Montoya would often be quicker. Let's do that final run before qualifying. That period between the final practice, we're now behind.
Would you do that?
You know, whenever you're competing at a particular line, when you looked in the data and practice, and the level of the data and practice, and you were quicker, data of GPS and things, but app that you then abort. But I would often sing as a marker, if you want, corner in a way, and I looked at the delta time, and I would press a radio button, I would double tap, like a double click on a map, because I would have tried something, and I would have found, as you tend to just look at the fastest laps, you don't troll through.
The gamesmanship involved, even at that level.
As a marker,
Do you then get a load of water?
or something. I remember when we used to do that Valencia, and I did it on a particular lap, and I did a triple click.
Was that other side of the garage when it was Bruno Senna?
But you all play games.
It's part of the game. That free practice 2 session, majority quickest with a 1:15.7. We've sent Martin Brundle around the track.
I'm at turns 7 and 8 in the Ferrari and 1, and they pick up the throttle in the system. And it's really lovely. They could just hear the balancing the power. They've got to surf down really nicely until it doesn't. Till absolutely had to grab as they go around line of stern now, the two Williams. So seen that for a long time. And having to choose, and as always with the aerodynamics, as soon as you are slightly not in a straight line far away, you don't want the slip of the rotationally on the tyre as well. So hill towards turn 9. Let's see what the Aston Lewis Hamilton on an in lap there, trying to cool and head up to turn 12.
As Oscar Piastri maintains that fastest, just had a little moment running out wide. Kimi Antonelli, 5 on the trot since 2010 when we had a different point system.
Yeah, it's been an extraordinary run, hasn't it? It's an aggressive down change, trying to get the Reds aborted the lap as well. So just waiting to turn 10 at the end. But his teammate has gone fastest of anybody. Sorry, yes, he has.
Turn 3, so he might have had to abort.
Yeah,
well,
so
he did it.
A little bit down on Piastri, the middle sector, but they've dived into the pits. Isaac has
seen the rear flashing rain light there. Couldn't to the FIA because we trialled this out a couple of MGUK states basically. When it's no longer, previously all of them were dictated by a red light. I also got it out for FP2.
Out on track, and there are lots of people with laptops in that they're trying to figure out with the software down here. But hopefully for Bottas, he's got nothing to learn. He'll be out soon.
Yes, certainly. Thanks, Ted. And literal fires, and Bottas not really. There is on the other side of the garage, which although it's although it's not a battle for.
He's been behind, hasn't he? He's raised a few Monte Carlo, but as you say, he's been in Japan. I think he was on the verge of being lapped.
2 down in quali and race head-to-heads. Car, and despite I think they have changed as much as they quite working out for him, but let's see whether things improve. Had his FP1 outing.
Green up here. That is the Fernando Alonso grandstand, isn't it? Up at all the team kit. I remember the first year I came, colours of Asturias matching the colours of his championship winning, the Ferrari colours.
Problem for Liam Lawson right on the exit on. Slowly, otherwise that's going to.
If he can't get it going, can he push it back? Just get it up to the white line, which is at the.
We're hearing it might well be the gear. A shame. Looks like he's set to miss out then on this so far. Points in 5 of the first reinstation of the Monaco podium.
Engine stop. I've no gears. I think it's gonna. Oh,
I wonder if. And then he couldn't do anything with it.
And that is Liam Lawson. Virtual safety car out. Everybody balls. Now one car, normal service resumes once again. We had 7. You were in for Kimi Antonelli. Fred, how was it?
I was driving W17 in the simulator already so well, W17, I couldn't wait to drive it.
What's about, you know,
of course,
you know, was there pressure?
And that's what I feel. And but few people get to do this, and especially in a live official.
You could tell the adrenaline was still so high. What a feeling. How much is that like the real thing? I suppose part of your job is...
Obviously, I found out the hard way. That's something I'll be taking back to Brackley for sure. Haven't had the front wing going up and down. We captured that, and that's what we need to improve. So it's those kind of...
Back to Brackley, do you get on the simulator this weekend? Do you get back there tonight? What happens with you now?
Overnight in the sim. I'll be ready. So I won't be able to get back to Brackley.
Are we going to see you in another FP1 session?
We have 4 sessions, and it's such a great chance to...
We're doing Fridays. It's an awful feeling at the end of...
Subbing in for Crofty this weekend.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. But I think there's any, especially in that midfield pack. Obviously, we all know what are the chances, what are the opportunities, how do Mercedes...
Third driver, but it's no lie. Formula 1, and you know, part of that is these FP1s came out really positive. So that's the kind of data I want. Once you get a chance to expose yourself to...
With that, Fred, you know, because you're part of Mercedes, but getting Esteban Ocon into a different Mercedes team, there's potential opportunity.
Gwen Legria's
potential opportunities elsewhere.
So that's a strong backing from Mercedes, and another driver on the field would be beneficial for them. The grid, he can see how much I'm putting into it. And then he's here today, and she'll be here every single race this year. So
sit down the pit lane begins.
This morning, actually,
so F1 and
call you and say, hey, listen, did you try this in the same? Do they talk
with the PU changes?
Do they talk to you one-on-one?
PU changes with the standing next to him during sessions. He has a lot of questions because there's in these cars you will really understand what's going on. So of a race weekend.
You surely there's a nice setup there to be.
Action, obviously, being with Cadillac Racing is an important one. So yeah,
Are you watching Le Mans this weekend? How are you? What's your...
My 2 teammates. They're going to be starting. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Well, they were unlucky, weren't they? Yeah, it will be a fun, busy week.
You've been out on this track this morning. We're on board with Charles Leclerc right now. Can you put us in his...
Understeer into this corner. At this point, trying to manage the rear tires. And that's not really what we heard at the beginning.
How quick do you think the last corner will be?
Making so early in the season.
And across then Oscar Piastri.
Farina's box not driven across, so disconnected before. So
the quali sims now, so this is getting exciting, isn't it? Because we got into this left-hander that Fred was saying lift for 9. So Fred, is it the rears that they're struggling here?
Yeah, the rear is more stable. Sometimes it's enough. You can, and we have things available that...
The time sheets almost 3 tenths ahead of Piastri across the line in 4th. What we got going on here?
This is one thing you don't talk about as a rookie getting in.
How much are you in community?
Radio is basically just open. There's cars for...
So Antonelli found 7 tenths. Fred, do you think that's
expected? But it could also be with, obviously, to push them corners. And
so Piastri's the one with it. I saw the window, Harry, you know.
Well, yeah, it's just coming through the
window, Harry, you know.
Well, yeah, it's just coming through the medium sector now, so it'll be middle sector, though. Impressive. Yeah, Gasly's out there on the side. Take straight line mode, activates.
Across the line, a 19.2 behind Perez's Cadillac at the stage.
It's going to expose all the weaknesses that a car has.
Real racetracks, sure, but this is the real test. This is
finding the runoff at turn 9.
That's a rare, slightly wide onto the dirty parts, so than Russell's, but we often see this some reward in sector 3, isn't it?
Penalize you for the rest of the lap. So sometimes it's, and yeah, let's see.
As McLaren can do. Let's just see what he's got over boots, and it's second, just shy.